Good morning, everybody. This is Vincent Meza with Listings to Leads. How are you today? Let me know if you can hear me okay, because it looks like something's running a little bit slow here. There's a comments panel in the StreamYard system, or if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, just let me know if you can hear me and do I sound okay, because sometimes the audio is kind of choppy and the video came on kind of slow, so I'm a little concerned today. And if you would, in the comments panel, let me know how long you've been with us. Today's call is on top ways to get more listings. We've got a lot of exciting news here. Oh, Andre, welcome. Yep, great. Thanks, Judy. Thank you, Jen. You can all hear me. So there's a lot of exciting stuff going on here with getting more listings, okay? And I'm just going to list a few things right off the bat, so that if you're writing anything down, and I know the days are busy and you get called away real quickly, you want to understand how to leverage expired listings and turn those into your listing. These 3 calls right here on our homepage are all 3 different agents around the country. Frankly, they're killing it. They are going after expireds. They are turning them into their listings. And the guy on the top is turning into a leading agent in his office, right? Down here, you will see sold ads, running sold ads on Facebook on your properties, or even if you borrow a home that's sold, is a really fast and efficient way of getting seller leads. This gentleman will tell you right there on that call that he's converting some of those. And over here, we talk about open houses, and actually open houses are, in 2025, is one of the top ways of getting more listings in our system. So the things that we definitely want to make sure you are aware of are expired listings, open house marketing, our listing presentation, and Facebook ads, because Facebook ads are a fast way to get buyer leads and definitely a fast way of getting seller leads. So before we dive into everything, I always like to point out kind of the resources that are for everybody inside the platform. So if you go into your account and you go to marketing calendar here, you should see a tab up on the top that says resources. And resources are going to get you to some really important tools that we have available for you. One of them is our live training calendar. So live webinars down here, that gets you to lead gen webinars. And as I mentioned, expireds are a big deal here. And because of that, we're holding 4 live classes every week. They're kind of workshops just to help you get some answers, point you in the right direction, and share the latest feedback that we're getting. So that happened this morning. It'll be happening again this afternoon, and I think again on Wednesday. But here on Tuesday, Scott's going to be doing a class on open houses. And if you want more listings, you definitely want to understand how to use our platform with open house marketing to get more listings. I'm going to show you a couple of the tools, and it will become very clear, I think. But that will be an in-depth call on that. And then again, on Wednesday, we have 2 workshops on open houses. And here we are talking about just sold marketing on Wednesday. And guess what just sold marketing is for? It's to get more listings. So you should probably get on that call. All right. And we got a call on new construction, and then we're back on next week. So that's leadgenwebinars.com. So if you're not a client, you're welcome to join our classes. They are right here. You can find it at leadgenwebinars.com, or it's here. So every class that we do, including the one that we're talking on right now, is recorded, and we put them over here on our YouTube channel. And this is really, I think, an awesome resource for everybody. I'm going to send it to you right now. A lot of people sign up on our on our platform, and a lot of clients will cancel. They just don't understand what's here. They never find this page, and they never take the time to learn what's going on. But we will be sharing stories with you, and as long as you're with us, you'll probably be hearing them coming from us, of clients who are just having their business explode with us. And so they have taken time. They have been on some of our classes. They've learned the tools that they want to use. And every agent has a kind of a slightly different business, so they approach it differently. And your business may not be exactly like the next agent's business, right? This guy here we're going to talk about today, Fabrice, he's out in Miami. We interviewed him just a few weeks ago, and he's got 16 listings in 2 weeks. Today's class is top tools for more listings. Honestly, we've been doing this for 17 years. I've never heard anybody say we've got 16 listings in 2 weeks. So we are excited to interview him. I'm going to share with you a little bit about what he was doing, but you should probably watch that call. And you can get to that call by going into your account and going into our YouTube channel and getting over to the YouTube page. Okay. The other thing that is a real great resource is our mastermind group. So this is a private group on Facebook as well, and you should definitely listen to what he's saying. I'm going to kind of describe to you a little bit about what he's been saying on that call. But if you go down the page, you'll see a lot of things there from Scott, from myself, and also from other agents, right? There's one of our clients here. This is another new client just saying, hey, I'm running ads, I'm getting leads, and we're getting great support here. So you can learn a lot here. I definitely recommend scanning this page about 15, 20 minutes every week to see what is new and what's going on. Okay. So let's kind of, as we talk about how to get more listings, there's a lot of ways, right? I said that it's like expired marketing. You can run ads on Facebook. You can market homes that are sold, right? You can hold open houses. And all of those actions have a lot of tools under them, right? So here we can see that I've got a sold property here. But I think that the one thing I want to point out, and I mentioned at the beginning of the call, is that we have a very powerful listing presentation. So no matter where you get listings or listing leads, you want to be aware of that, right? And each of you, when you come to your listings page, you have a listing presentation page. You can download it in print here, but you can also get it in Flipbook. And this is an online magazine, and I've got a copy of it open up here, all right? This is really what we do for automated marketing, but this is branded to you. Your headshot, your logo, your color scheme will be flowing throughout this. And it talks about all the things that we help you do, right? Paid ads on Facebook and Instagram, social media marketing. We do this actually for free. We auto post it to your socials for free. We create a virtual tour. We put it on YouTube for free. But you can talk about this, say, when you're listing with me, this is what I provide. And what this is really showing you is what listings to leads is doing for you automatically, right? So this is really handy to get your arms around and to realize that it's available. Now, if you come to my listings page, you will see that I have listings for a canceled, for an expired, for FSBO, and just for a straight listing presentation. And what that means is each one of these has a unique listing presentation with the name and the address of the homeowner on the cover and a picture of their home throughout the presentation, right? So the one that we were looking at is more of a generic version, but this one it's for one homeowner and showing their home in the presentation. This is very powerful, okay? You can print it. You can also email it. You can text it as well. And if you're trying to reach out to a homeowner, maybe they're FSBO, maybe they're an expired, you're not getting their attention, they're not returning your calls, a lot of clients will grab the hyperlink to the front page of this and text it over, and it will generate conversations, right? That's what this young lady here does. She's on her homepage. She calls expireds twice. They don't respond. She leaves one text message saying, would you like to see my listing presentation? And they don't respond. And then she creates a custom one with their name and address on the cover and their home built. And as you can see, she has 4 listings in 6 weeks. So that's a really great way of leveraging our listing presentation and reaching out to expireds. Now, these two gentlemen, they actually wait about 3 months. And that's really what we recommend. Wait 3 months before you actually reach out to an expired. And if they have not relisted, then you can use his model up top where he calls and leaves a voice message saying, I would just like to introduce myself. I'm a realtor. Or you can take his method, Scott Murray, down here, and he door knocks. He'll knock right at their door, and he has a really interesting way of getting to know the homeowner. But both of these people are holding this in their hand. If you can see me here, I'm holding our listing presentation, but it says how we're going to sell your expired home, right? And just like the Flipbook version, you're on every page. You're in you're throughout this. This is very high quality. You can order it. If you go look on our blog, you can see that we can set this up for you, and you can also order them, right? We give you a link where you can order them. So if you want those, you definitely want to get those in your hands, right? I will go back here to the YouTube channel because I do recommend that you listen to Fabrice there. But I also want to point out a couple of other people who are on this page who are really excelling at getting more listings. This gentleman here, Leo, he has 2 to 4 listing appointments every week. Okay. So 2 to 4 listing appointments every week. How is he doing that? He is marketing expireds, right? He's reaching out to expireds. He is marketing his sold listings with postcards and Facebook ads, and he's holding open houses. And as I mentioned, sold marketing and expireds and open houses get you listing leads. So he gets listing leads every week, and he works his leads. I can tell you, you watch that call, you'll notice he has one VA and he has a wholesaler who's helping him make phone calls. So he's going through the activities to get seller leads, and he is working his listing leads to get appointments. And for Leo, he's got 40 of these in his hand every month. And he has another 40. If you can see here, this version is for expired, but he has another 40 that are just the standard. It doesn't matter, just a listing presentation. He puts 80 of these in his market every week. Okay. I'm sorry, every month. That's a lot, 80 every month, right? But it gets him 2 to 4 listing appointments every week, right? And that's what he's after. And as you can see, he's closing a listing every week. And that's really a great model to think of. If you go down the website, you're going to continue to see this kind of story happen over and over. And really the key, I think, that you want to walk away with is if you're using the tools, they work, okay? If we scroll down further, you will see the 3 people on our homepage. This was months ago. Scott Murray here. If we go down further, you're going to see JJ right here. And then you will also see John. And John was saying also, and this was recorded in November. So when we first launched our expired marketing, he jumped on it. He started reaching out. He starts getting listings right away. He's now on our homepage because he sent us an update in January and said, I closed 2.2 million in listings in the first 2 weeks of January. In the call that we're looking at right here, 6 months ago in November, he told us, I'm putting 10 of these flyers in my market every week. That's my goal. Again, it's this listing presentation. It's solid. You're looking at it. It's in your account. If you can get in touch with homeowners, you want to figure out, how can I get this listing presentation in that homeowner's hand, either in a physical print copy like this or an electronic version that's sitting in your account and that you can text or email. Okay. So I just want you to understand that first, right? So let's talk about open houses. How can an open house get me more listings? And Scott's going to do an in-depth class on this, but let's just go. I've got an open house right here. Let me show you a couple quick things. There are more actions to take on an open house, and we just don't have time to cover all those. But I do want to show you the key reason that open houses get more listings for our clients. It's actually a piece of paper, okay? It says nearby homeowner letter. And if you download it, there are 3 versions of the same letter. They just look kind of different. You will see very quickly why this is so important to getting more listings from your open house. So it basically has on there, hey, I've got an open house. So if you print this 100 times and you door knock this, you will, you're letting people know, right? Hey, I've got an open house this weekend. Please come by if you're thinking of buying or selling, right? They can even go right here and get their home value. And that does happen sometimes. But really what our clients are seeing is that if they can get homeowners that are neighbors of your current listings into your open house, you got a good chance of engaging them, right? And one of those things that might engage is just our standard listing presentation, like I'm holding here in my hand. But also inside the system, you have a whole series of PDF guides. And PDF guides, there are 40 for buyers and there are another 40 for sellers. They have your branding, your logo, your headshot on every page, and they're all about 5 or 6 pages long. So our clients take the flyers. You see this one here, it says for downsizing. You can print flyers, which are one-page flyers, and they have a QR code on them. They have your headshot, they have your logo. And if you can see me, I'm holding one in my hand right now. It's actually the flyer for this particular one, downsizing, right? A guide for downsizing. And you can download it with that QR code, right? And if I do that, you're going to see that you are branded on your logo's there and your headshots there. And you want to get these little tabletop stands at Staples or Office Depot or whatever, and have these sitting in your car for every open house that you do, right? Oh, what did I just do there? Yeah. Again, you're inviting homeowners into your home, right? Into your open house. You're using this, you've got some printed listing presentations. So you might have 3 of these for buyers and 3 of these for sellers, but they're going to start recognizing that you are the realtor and what company you're from. There's also this tool here under Media Library. And on this page, we actually have our listing presentation in a 5-minute commercial. Okay. It's already sitting up on YouTube. So Smart TV at the open house to this video, you can up your laptop and point it there as well, right? And just click. Let's see here what happened. Are you here? Is everybody, do I sound okay here, everybody? I think my camera here. Things get a little bit janky in the audio section. But as you can see here, this is a video of our listing presentation. And so if you've got this running on your, yeah, there's something kind of weird here. Okay, good. I turned myself up. If you're inviting homeowners and they can see that you've got a commercial running on the TV talking about how you sell homes, this is going to help you out. Let me ask a question. Can you see my screen? I just want to make sure because I turned off my video so I'm not messing up the bandwidth here. Little choppy. Okay. Yeah, that's why I turned it off, because I could tell like things, I can see here that things are kind of running a little bit slow. So I'll kind of go slow here. I do want to point out that there are landing pages here, and you might want to create your own landing pages for home values, right? So all of you, when you sign up, you have this page here, free home values, okay? And if you click marketing tools, you're going to see that there are a lot of ways to market. So let's go talk a little bit about this, because you definitely want to be thinking of this when you are thinking about getting more listings. Like I showed you, you have 40 different PDF guides on various topics for homeowners, but you also have landing pages, and you can create landing pages for all your farm markets. I have here one for Glendale and kind of the Los Angeles area, right? So once you have a PDF guide or you have a landing page, you can run ads on Facebook. You can also run ads on Google. We can also share it for free on social media. We also give you an e-flyer for your database, okay? And we also give you print tools, maybe postcards or door hangers or letters that you can print and mail to your market. And that's, I think, really important to know. There are a lot of tools to help you advertise to homeowners. And I think the more you're using, the more that you're just going to get more leads from that, right? And now that you know you've got a really killer listing presentation, you can convert those leads. I do want to point out a couple things. As I mentioned on our YouTube channel and here, you should definitely watch Fabrice's call, because Fabrice is kind of doing things slightly differently. It's had this open, but it's gone now. That's this one here, right? 16 listings in 2 weeks. One of the things that he is leveraging is when he has a sold property, he mails the nearby homeowner letter out. And he actually does a radius and he mails them out every week for a few weeks. So this nearby homeowner letter I showed you related to an open house, but we update it obviously when the home is sold. And this has often been the number one way of getting listings. You don't get a volume of leads from mailing out 100 of these. You get just a few, but those are high quality leads because hopefully you're mailing it to people with equity and they have to open the mail, type in that web address, give you their address and their contact information to get a home value. Basically, what Fabrice is doing is mailing out in a small radius around the house on week one, and on the second week, he mails out to a second radius, so a wider radius, and then the third ring, right? So he's mailing out, marketing his sold homes with mail. Okay. He's also running ads, but he's definitely doing this. And this is one of those things that you want to be thinking about. This is a powerful letter, but if you don't use it, it's not going to do anything for you. Fabrice here is telling us, I got 16 listings in 2 weeks. That's one of the things he is doing is marketing out those letters, right? He is also he's got a really solid CRM. He's got a lot of leads in a CRM, right? He's been in the industry for 6 years. He's been getting leads from wherever he's been getting them. But he also goes in and he pulls in listings and grabs our tools, whether they're the e-flyer or links to our single property website, and just blasts them out through his CRM and through his group of followers that he has on WhatsApp. Most of you have these sorts of things, and these tools that are available are sitting right in your account, right? You can actually use the e-flyer for your database, which is configured for CRMs, or you can just grab the actual tool like a single property website, right? And take that link and just copy it and push it through your CRM. So the thing that I think the takeaway with Fabrice is using the tools over and over, right? Mailing out the nearby homeowner 3 times. Every listing, like we're looking at one listing, he markets these 3 times a week. Okay. So and another thing that's important that he says in the call, and I think this can be relevant to all of you, is he's in Miami. And a lot of his listings that he is marketing, he is borrowing from other agents. Okay. He doesn't actually have his own listings. Now he does. And now that he has his own listings, he can market those in the same way. But he was borrowing listings of homes that look really good that he could share through his CRM and share through his WhatsApp group and run ads on, right? So everybody is seeing these things all associated to him, really good looking homes, right? And I think all of you can do that, whether you're borrowing something that's for sale to get buyer leads or hold an open house and get listing leads, or something that is even sold. A lot of our clients will borrow sold listings, especially I talk to a lot of realtors and maybe they operate 4, 5, 10 towns, right? 10 different cities, but they live in one city and they can tell that there's some agent who doesn't even live in that town is dominating their town, right? So what do you do about that? You could borrow listings that are for sale and hold open houses and you're going to be engaging homeowners, or you can borrow homes that are sold and market them as sold and mail out the nearby homeowner letter. Again, you are now engaging the people that live in that area. So that's really basic farming, and our tools are going to help you do that, whether it's email, print, or with ads. Okay. So we talked a little bit about the open house. I do want to point out, since we're looking here, I can see we got a cancel, I got an expired FSBO. I just spoke to an agent this morning, and she was saying her and her husband want to market FSBOs. I said, that's great, because if you go here to landing pages, you will see that we have a landing page ready for you to go out and reach out to FSBOs. Now, not all of you want to do that, but I do want to just talk about it a bit, because we give you a landing page that you can give to people, that you can point people to. And it says, would you like some free tools? Would you like a flyer? Would you like a virtual tour? Yes, I want these. What's your contact info? And then when I click that button, I have to upload a photograph. The homeowner puts in a photograph. At that point, we can generate those tools automatically, just like we do when you put in your listing. We generate all those tools and we give them to you, and you can give them to that homeowner, right? So that's really cool. But you notice here, I've got a FSBO here, and it's a draft. So it's the same exact. This was auto-generated because that listing, uh, that landing page captured them, right? And so right here, I have a flip book for that homeowner now, right? Remember I was telling you can create custom ones. We do that for you automatically. Now, I wouldn't say to reach out to them immediately. Maybe they responded to a landing page. They requested a few tools. We auto-generated the tools for you and sent them to you to forward on to the homeowner, right? But after a couple weeks or a couple months, you could say, hey, by the way, I am a realtor and this is how I sell homes. You could text this to that person and they could see all things in the ways that you market. And this is one of those reasons that our clients really like to work with FSBOs, because they can turn those FSBOs into their own listings. Now, underneath that landing page, it says marketing tools. And just like the PDF guides and just like the other landing pages, you've got tools to help advertise that landing page for FSBOs. You could run an ad on Facebook. I wouldn't really recommend that too much. You certainly could. You could run an ad on Google. That's going to get a higher quality lead. We make it really easy, 2 clicks. We put on all the keywords and descriptions. We make it very easy for you to do that. But you also get postcards and door hangers, and FSBOs are not there's not a huge volume. So having some of these printed from Vistaprint or Amazon, your local printer, and just mailing it over when you see something, or maybe going and hanging something on their door, those QR codes that we see there are going to get people to the landing page where they can request their free tools, give you their contact information and a photo of the home, and that's going to get the ball started. Okay. So FSBOs are really a cool way of getting to the market. And like I said, you've got a lot of PDF guides that you can go out and reach into the market as well. So when we're looking at expireds, as I mentioned, we definitely have a whole system to help you get out there and work expired. In the follow-ups, we even have some email campaigns that are designed just for follow-ups right here to engage these expired homeowners, right? So you just have something ready, because not every expired is going to sign that minute, right? A lot of them do. A lot of our clients who have been bringing out the printed landing pages, the printed listing presentations, people are asking right there, where do I sign? That is so compelling to put something like this in front of somebody that they are, especially if you waited 3 months and maybe it took you a few days to get them to actually meet you. The moment you present this to them, they're ready to go, right? And literally people, when they see this, they just ask, where do I sign? Literally, where do I sign? That's what this lady down here on her homepage experienced here, right? And Terry Ann here, who does this call, she's a new agent. She's a new agent. And so she actually was walking in her neighborhood and met a neighbor who wanted to sell their home. Said, oh, I'm an agent, right? And can we have an appointment? I'll come and meet you and we'll talk about what I do. She signs up. She creates this on the first day. She creates a custom listing presentation to present to that homeowner. And by the time she got to this listing presentation, the homeowner says, where do I sign? This is very complete. And she'll tell you in the call on her homepage, it's really the fact that everything is presented in one big area and they can understand it. We make it very easy to comprehend what's going on. And it's a really solid story of all the technology that we're providing to you with Listings to Leads. Whether it's a FSBO or it's canceled or withdrawn or expired, you've really got a good tool to really get that conversation started. I'm going to tell you a little bit about expireds here that I think are really the highlights, right? And that is, and you kind of see it if you go find these videos on our YouTube channel, wait 3 months. Okay, wait 3 months before you reach out to an expired. JJ down here, she calls him day one. That's why she's not getting any voicemails. Okay, wait 3 months, door knock or call, and ask to meet them, right? Present them with this listing presentation. And of course, be able to speak to this. You don't need to read every word that we provide, but have those ready, right? So as I mentioned, we do create a virtual version in Flipbook, but I want to share this with everybody because this is a huge resource. You need to save this. And if you're watching this in a recording online, just go to our website, go to the bottom and click on blogs and type in booklets or expireds, and you will get the link where you order the setup. I think everybody, depending on your market, you should have some expired ones. You see this one up here, the complete marketing plan. This is our standard one, right? So it's not talking about expireds. Inside, they're practically identical, okay? But on the cover, it's just ones for expired. And so once you've gone through the setup, which takes a few days, we're going to send you a link where you can order copies. And our clients who are doing the most amount of listings are very focused on getting physical copies of these into their market every week and every month. Because the longer that those are sitting in a homeowner's hands, at some point they're going to call and say, I'm ready to go. This is a very strong listing presentation. You want to market sold homes? You're going to get listing leads. You want to use a nearby homeowner letter at an open house? You're going to get listing leads. You want to go run an ad on Facebook for your sold property? I have listings right here. Very easy, right? Let's do that very quickly. I'm on my listings page. Let's scroll down. And I can click, I have a sold property here. So if I click market listing, I can just click here and run an ad on Facebook. So as you see this wheel spinning, this is because we're grabbing Facebook's ad software. It's already built into our platform and we write the ad. This is frankly, all you need to do is click that button. That's going to be a $50 ad running for 7 days and it's going to get seller leads. Okay. Now, if you're not familiar with Facebook, the seller leads cost around $7, $8, $9 each. Okay. So if it's $7, you divide 7 to 50, you would expect 7 leads. If it's $10, and Facebook sets the price every time you run the ad, it's never exactly the same. If it's $10, you would get 5 leads, right? 10 into 50 is 5. So that's how the pricing works. And this is, I think, something I often tell agents that if they have a sold property that they sold last week or last month, they should run a 1-week ad every week for 1 to 2 months, a $50 ad. Why? Because 1,000 people are going to see that you're selling homes. Also, you're going to get leads with every one of those. And if it stops producing leads, stop running the ad. But if you have a very good listing presentation and you are getting seller leads from Facebook, that's a good, you want to make sure you can get them their home value because that's what this is saying. Hey, that's sold, get your home value, click here. Make sure that they get their home value. You might need to reach out. Maybe they forgot to give you the address or something. So make sure they get the home value. And at that point, you have their address, you have their contact information from the lead. You can now create a custom listing presentation with their home in it, and you can send it to them. And that's going to begin a good conversation when they can see how you sell a home. Right. Sold ads on Facebook, right? Easy to do, a couple clicks, right? Mailing out a letter like a nearby homeowner letter, it's harder, it's more difficult. Higher quality lead though, okay? Expired listings. Don't be afraid of, as Scott and I talk to a lot of agents here, a lot of people are kind of timid about reaching out to expireds. If you're waiting 3 months and they have not relisted, do not be shy. This is what we see over and over again, that our clients who are reaching out to those people who have not relisted in the past 3 months or 4, they're still thinking about selling. It just didn't work out. Who knows? Maybe it was price, maybe it was something else. But now you can come in with a stronger story and turn that expired listing into yours. Okay. Now, again, I want to say we hold 4 workshops every week on expired. And depending on where you are in the country, I know some people sign up from Canada, some of the clients in the New England part of the country, they never really had the huge run up in or spike in prices that we saw in COVID in some of the southern states. So there aren't really as many expireds. But I will tell you this, as I can say that statement, I can scroll down right here to this guy here. He is operating in Boston, New Hampshire, and Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Rhode Island. Okay. So he's licensed in 3 states, and those are all close to each other. And he's working expireds in all of those areas. Okay. And that's getting him to 4 listing appointments a week. And so obviously he probably won't close every one of them, but he's closing 1 new listing a week. And that's a great place to be. And again, Leo is working expireds, he's working open houses, and he's marketing sold homes with postcards and Facebook ads. As you can see, doing those functions in our platform is actually not that complicated, right? I do want to talk a little bit about, and feel free if you have any questions here. I want to talk a little bit about farming. Okay, just farming. And I hinted at it earlier, but let's talk about Pleasant Hill. Okay, I actually have a landing page for a town called Pleasant Hill. And this town has this is like the downtown mall. It's a Crescent Hill Circle, Crescent Drive. And a lot of restaurants there. There's a movie theater there. You can get ice cream. There's Starbucks, everything, right? Everybody in Pleasant Hill knows this spot. They come. So that's why I have the photograph on the back of my landing page. And if you want to create that kind of landing page, just go up to the top and create a landing page called Property Valuation Plus. Okay. And you can either name it here or you can name it inside and just change the word so that it says Pleasant Hill, right? So this is why I want to talk about this particular page. So I can click, where is that? I can click marketing tools. And when you're thinking of farming, you want to think of it this way, right? Print, email, and social media, okay? So there's 3 major avenues to go through. So print, if I have a landing page, it's going to give me an instant home value. I have postcards designed to get people to that page. Okay. There's a QR code on the front. There is a link on the front, and there's even a link on the back of this postcard. And then there's a QR code. Then there's a door hanger as well. So I know some of you are in incredibly hot areas, so walking neighborhoods is not going to be happening. But a postcard's pretty easy to do. We have them designed for every door direct as well. If you have a mailing address, that can be really awesome, right? If you have that list inside of your CRM, we also give you emails. We actually give you emails for all those PDF guides I was mentioning earlier, and we give you an email designed to get people to get to that home valuation landing page. Lots of tools here to capture leads from one email. And then, of course, you could run ads on Facebook. And I want to kind of show you this because this is where things can get a little bit squirrely. If I change this to lead ad, so I get a lead with name, email, and phone number on every lead, that's definitely what I recommend, right? And this home says this ad says what's your Pleasant Hill home worth, right? And there's a picture of Pleasant Hill. So this is going to work out nicely, right? So you would think, let's type in Pleasant Hill on Facebook and let her rip, right? And you might be disappointed. Okay, now this is not true for everybody, but let me show you. You see here, it says Pleasant Hill in a 15-mile radius. That's as tight as you can get. For me, that is a problem. And depending on where you are, that might be a problem for you as well, okay? And let me show you why. So Pleasant Hill, it's like a little suburban community. There's a little downtown and there's some office buildings, but it's 30, 40 minutes outside of San Francisco, okay? And so a lot of people actually work in San Francisco and then they commute out and they live in Pleasant Hill. And that's cool because that's in a big county and there are a lot of other cities, but a 15-mile radius radius around Pleasant Hill, which is what Facebook's going to show my ad to, Pleasant Hill. Okay. Pleasant Hill is right here. There's only 33,000 people that live there. Okay. But Facebook is going to show my ad to all these people. And that's not really going to work for me. And that often disappoints agents, right? They want seller leads, and I tried it, and what happened? Why didn't that work? So let's talk about a few companies that exist out there who can make that a lot better for you. Okay. So Remind.com exists, right? You can actually buy a list of homeowners that have owned a home for more than 5 years. That's where you want to start. Now, you don't have to use Remind. We actually have a company that we work with called My Plus Leads. And My Plus Leads, where is it? They'll sell you that list. And I think RedX sells that list, and listsource.com and Arch Agents and Vulcan 7. But what you want is a list of homeowners that have owned a home for at least 5 years. And you want their name, their email address, and their phone number, and their mailing address. Okay. That's how you're going to farm. A lot of our clients use My Plus Leads for the expired listing data because they want to reach out to expireds. And then when they're ready to start farming, they increase their account so that they can get more data, right? They can get all the homeowners that live there. So when you have that, what do you do with that, right? And let's go over to ads and let's talk about that. Because one of the most powerful things you can do with a list like that is create a custom audience on Facebook. Okay. So I'm on ads, and there's a blue button here that says create audience. And if I call this Pleasant Hill homeowners and upload it because I bought it from RedX or Remind or My Plus Leads, I can now target those people on that list with my ad. Okay. I want to point out it has to be a minimum of 1,000 leads long. Okay. So if you're in a small community of 500 homes, it won't work. Also, it needs to be in a CSV format. You can try Excel, but it has to have these columns in this order. Okay. That's exactly what your spreadsheet needs to look like. And then you upload it, and it lives in your Facebook account. And anytime you want to run an ad, you can do that, right? So maybe I want to run an ad on a sold property, right? And I click create ad, or I could run it on any of those 40 PDF guides. But instead of targeting the city and 15 miles here, I take that out and I say, I'm going to retarget my custom audience called Pleasant Hill homeowners. Okay. So if those homeowners on that list are on Facebook in a 7-day period, they're going to see my ad. You can also share things for free, like a landing page and all of our PDF guides on your social media accounts for free. Okay. But the ads are going to reach people who are not in your sphere, who are not following you. And that's what makes it so powerful. And if you have a custom audience on Facebook, now it's even more powerful because it's going to hit people who already have owned a home for 5 years, right? So there's another thing that you can do. And and that is you can take that same exact list and put it in your CRM. Okay. And you put it in your CRM. And now anytime you have a sold property in that area, or even an open house in that area, or you just listed in that area, you could copy this e-flyer for your database, take it over to your CRM, hit that list of homeowners in Pleasant Hill, and copy this, and that link are going to get you seller leads, and this link are going to drive you to the home value page again to get listing leads. So there's a lot. Now that you have that list of homeowners, you have email tools on every listing, you have email tools on every landing page, and you have email tools on every one of these 40 PDF guides. The moral of the story is you have a lot of tools to get in front of people in email, right? You could also say, hey, I want to start marketing things in print, right? Because you bought that list. Maybe you should be mailing something once a month or every other month or every quarter that's reinforcing your branding, right? So for every one of these tools, we do have postcards. really easy to just say, yeah, let's upload the list and have somebody mail those out for me, right? Really easy. The postcard, it's already got the QR codes built in, so people can scan, go over there and download that for free. They have to give you their contact information, right? So again, I want to say that if you are thinking of farming an area, you definitely want to be thinking of it in print. Like, here's a nearby homeowner letter, right? I mentioned this, Fabrice in Miami mails a batch out every week for 3 weeks. The first radius around the home, like the first few blocks, and then the next ring of a few blocks, and then the next ring, right? That guy has 16 listings in 2 weeks. He is leaning heavily on this piece of paper, okay? He also runs ads, right? It's very easy to run ads, so you definitely want to do that. These are just a few of the things to think about if you want more listings. And I want to repeat it because Fabrice said this in his call, and we've known this for a long time. And I definitely want everybody to be aware of this. You can borrow listings from your office, and obviously pay attention to your local rules, right? If there are any kind of rules related to this. You can borrow homes that are for sale, and you can borrow homes that are sold, right? And both of those, if you're doing open houses, that's going to be slam dunk to help you get listing leads, right? Obviously, the sold marketing is going to get you listing leads. The landing pages are going to get you listing leads, and our PDF guides. A lot of tools here designed for homeowners to help you have more conversations with more homeowners, okay? And now you've got a listing presentation that you can use for all of those people to really get the conversation going. Are there any questions about what I've been talking about here today? Or is there anything else that you're thinking that you want to try that maybe I haven't discussed? I'm open for questions, but that's kind of the end of my story. Definitely get in our mastermind group and check out that video. You can find it on the YouTube channel or in Facebook of Fabrice. He'll tell you, he's not really doing anything. He's just working down the list. So when you have a listing for sale, we have automatically created a bunch of tools for every listing. He is really just leaning on those tools. He's not doing anything different. Here I have a home that's for sale. It's got an open house. And every one of you, whether you borrow a listing or not, almost all of these tools are sitting here to run Facebook ads, to share them for free on social media, to get a nearby homeowner letter, right? To get the e-flyer. These are all created, right? All Fabrice is doing is using these tools frequently and consistently. He's actually posting listings a lot every week. He's borrowing those listings to do it, but he's emailing them out. He's blasting them out on his CRM, and he's sending them out on WhatsApp. And you never know where people are. Like, he's got these groups who are following him. You don't know where they are at any particular time of the day, right? Or what they're thinking about. So he keeps resending them, and they keep capturing leads. That's really as simply as I can put it, right? Are there any questions? I don't see any questions. So I want to say thank you for joining me here. While you are here, let me ask you this. We definitely want to know that we are helping you with these calls, right? So if you don't mind, I'm going to send you a survey. It's just got a few questions, I think 5 or 6 questions. Send it to you now. About, is this helping you? Is there something that you felt like you needed? That's definitely what we want to know. Is there something that you felt like you needed to know that wasn't here, right? I'm going to say one last thing because I mentioned it earlier, but I really could have gone further. When we talk about running ads on Google, I want to point out that those leads are more expensive, okay? But I also want to point out that these are much higher quality leads, okay? When we're running ads on Facebook, they're showing up on the newsfeed. If I'm on my phone, scrolling through my phone, they're showing up right there, right in front of where everything else. I follow food, I follow my friends, and here I'm going to see your ad, right? If you're in my area. Facebook, I think American adults, not kids, not teenagers, spend 40 minutes a day there. Okay. Just looking at whatever's coming. And if you got an ad, it might be relevant to them and they might click on it. And you can capture a lead. So it's a real person. And these are good leads, right? Were they really thinking about that? Were they really looking for that answer? Maybe not. You know where they went to if they really needed an answer? They, majority of the time go to this website. A lot of people go to ChatGPT, and our tools are being indexed by ChatGPT, right? There's a lot of new AI search models out there. And so, but the number one search engine is still Google, right? And so running an ad here, it's related to the words that they are typing in. What is my home worth? How do I sell my home myself? What do I have to think of? What about commissions? Anything that they type in related to selling a home, our software is automatically configured to put in the right language, the right keywords, so that they can click on our ad and become a lead for you. We have a team in Dallas. They have 3 custom audiences for Facebook, but they also run a lot of ads on Google. And in Dallas, they're saying, hey, if I run an ad on a landing page for what is my Dallas home worth, right? If I'm getting listing leads from Google, those leads cost me $30 each. That is easily double what a seller lead from Facebook costs, right? It might even be 3 times as expensive than Facebook. But the intent of that lead is way higher. They had a question, they wanted an answer, they liked our answer, and they filled out your form. Okay. That is a high quality lead. An expired listing lead that is responding to you is a high quality lead. If you mail out a nearby homeowner letter on a sold property, an open house property, or just listed, somebody had to open up a piece of mail, walk to their own computer, type in that lower address, and give you their address and email. That is another high quality lead. Okay. Go out there and use our tools and get more leads and use our listing presentations to close those leads. I hope you all understand. Thank you for being here with me today. Have a great week. Let us know if we can help you, and we'll talk soon. Bye, everybody.